Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. I am joined by Matt, all the way from sunny Mexico, and we are going to be here to talk about the sad news today about Ogbonna's injury and what it will mean for West Ham moving forward now. Obviously, if you're new around here, please give me a subscribe. Please like the video. It goes a long way. It helps me out greatly. I'm getting subscribers up, nearly up to 200, and we are moving slowly but surely. Before I get going, Matt, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. How you doing, all right?
All good, mate. All good. Let's bring in Mike and all. All right, we'll get Mike in. Mike, how you doing, mate? You all good?
You all right, James? How's it going?
All good, mate. All good. Right, obviously, let's get into it. Ogbonna's injury, Matt. I'll start off with you and then move on to Mike and then we'll go round. Where do we go now in regards of Angelo Ogbonna's injury? We've got Dawson, we've got Diop. Where do we go?
It's crushing, to be honest, isn't it? It is crushing. I mean, the only thing is we're lucky and it's in a position where we do have a little bit more leeway than other positions, you know, like in our famous left back or striker position where we will be a little bit more up shit creek without a paddle. But I think to keep it safe, mate, I think it's got to be Dawson. I still think that Diop is the future. I still think that Diop and Zuma could make a wonderful partnership that could take us into the future. And of course, we've got younger players coming up through the youth system that could help out in cup games or maybe in a little bit of Europa League games in case the games get come thick and thin. But I definitely think right now to keep it safe, Dawson will go in. And but I would like it that Diop is the one that could use this opportunity to break through, being the younger and a player that offers a little bit more on the ball, even though that can be a bit calamitous at times.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Mike, is this Diop's moment now? Obviously, Dawson's in there, and Dawson will get the go-ahead, but I hope that they're going to be training Zuma and Diop together behind the scenes and getting them ready to go together, especially if Ogbonna's out for about 3 months, I think it is. What do you reckon, Mike?
I mean, from what I heard, I thought Ogbonna was going to be out for about probably the season, about 7 or 8 months, which obviously is worst case scenario. Best case scenario, obviously, like you said, 3 months, something like that, we could, in obviously a real mainstay in the team. And I think, I don't know, me personally, out of Diop and Dawson, I personally think Dawson would be given a chance, because I think Dawson's, he's assured. I think he's got less of a how can I say it, less of an error in him. Diop's just probably a bit more error prone to me. I think the only thing that maybe could work in Diop's favour is that he's got French language connection with Zuma, so that could sort of play in his favour. But it'll be an interesting one to see what happens.
I agree. Me personally, I don't think it's a big problem, as Matt said. I think we've got enough cover there to deal with it. I think if Rice goes down, then we're in trouble, or someone like that, or Cresswell, or someone of that ilk. But for me, personally, I feel that Diop has to sort himself out now. This is his moment. And I'm going to put this to you. If he doesn't sort himself out, is the Diop going to be out of here next season? Because, let's be honest, if he's out for between 3 and 9 months, which people are saying it could be, depending how bad it is, this is Issa's moment for me, and he has to sort it out. I'll put that to Matt first.
Yeah, mate, I definitely think so. I mean, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you do remember because you know much more about West Ham than I do as well. But when Ogbonna got injured his knee the last time, and I don't know if you remember. Yeah, no, well, even the one before that, mate, when it was Bilic. Do you remember when he was at Bilic? And I always remember that we bought in Jose Fonte. Everybody saying, why the hell have we bought in Fonte? And I think it was like 2 or 3 days later that Ogbonna was out for the season with a knee injury as well. Would be interesting to know whether it is the same knee as the other one, as the previous ones. I don't really know. But my point there is that Fonte came in with everybody expecting, where the hell is he going to play? Where's he going to fit in? Why have we signed this guy? And that was his golden chance to. And to be honest, I don't think Fonte left the club with people looking badly at his spell there. I mean, I don't think he did anything fantastic, but I don't think anyone would criticise him from being horrific. And I think this is the same situation, like you said, mate, that could happen with Diop. This is make or break, because he's not going to get a better chance than this. Because this is like what is called Squid Game. You know, his number one opponent's been eliminated. You know, and his number one opponent there was Ogbonna, and it was always known that whilst Ogbonna was fit, he'd keep him out of the team. And right now, like you say, Diop is more error prone, and probably this place is Dawson's until he loses it. But if Diop really steps up, he could concrete his place. And to be honest, I mean, I saw chat today on Twitter that they might extend Ogbonna's contract, even if it's a career-threatening injury, as a personal, as a personal help to him. But at the end of the day, we know that this is the last few good seasons of Ogbonna because of his age, you know, because you can see in certain moments when he's come up, especially, you know, where I see Ogbonna getting slow, which does make me a little bit sad, is when he gets pulled out wide for covering wides. You know, when the fullback's gone up and he's pulled out wide and he comes up against a speedy winger, just occasionally that change of pace or that change of direction, you know, from someone like a Mane that would have dragged them out wide, etc. That's where you can see that he's, you know, maybe he's got one season at best left in him. So I really do hope that Diop stands up, like you say, fixes up those errors and really focuses on defending and getting his defensive skills, positioning, communication skills, and builds that up. And I really think that, you know, we could have a solid partnership for 2 or 3 years to come between Zuma and Diop.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. Mike, what do you think, mate? Is it Diop's last chance at West Ham this season? This is the right moment for him now, isn't it? Let's be honest.
I'd have to say, yeah, it's probably last chance saloon for Diop now. If he doesn't grab this opportunity with both hands, then he's never going to cement his position in the first team. And obviously, it doesn't look like it's going to be a a short-term thing as well with Ogbonna. So in that respect, no, he's got to show his colours. I think if you saw Diop, well, this season, I mean, in the years that he has played, say Carp in Europe, he's been very reliable. He's actually looked like a really good player. So I mean, maybe he's, you know, the training methods have changed on him, or maybe he's improved in training, maybe by the fact that he's training around different players. But I still think, I mean, the only thing that Diop probably holds, as I say, the trump card that Diop holds more than Dawson is his age. He's younger. He's still got more left in him. But is he as reliable as Dawson? That's what we've got to ask ourselves. And I think the answer currently is no, because otherwise he would have come against Liverpool. But Moyes obviously showed the loyalty to Dawson, and I'm sure that would definitely, including myself, raised more than a few eyebrows, because a lot of people saw Dawson when we signed him as exactly like Matt was saying, as a kind of, how can I say, not stopgap, but like, you know, just why did we sign him? You know, like when we got Jose Font. And he was sort of that same kind of ilk of signing, and Dawson turned into like an absolute you know, I don't think it's unfair to say that he turned into a world beater last season, right?
See, Ethan says it here. Yeah, he says time to see Diop. Man United wanted for 45 million. The only decent thing I say, because like about the whole thing, is that Zuma's there, and Zuma will make him better. He's made a lot of our players better. Let's be honest, Zuma, since he's arrived, and I want to see Diop and Zuma together, mate, because I think they're a powerhouse. And let's be honest, if Zuma's the athletic one and Diop can be the one who sort of gets the ball out and get like it's a bit more calm, then we might be all right. We might be okay. I think Dawson, don't get me wrong, I think Dawson's good, but is he good for the next 4, 5, 6 games in a row? That's the $1 million question. I'll leave it on a final thought to you guys. Where did obviously we've got Wolves next, and who's your starting two centre halves? I'll start off with Mike on this one and leave the final word to Matt.
For me at the moment, and after his performance against Liverpool, I mean, I've got to say Dawson. It's got to be Dawson. He's not really put a foot wrong, to be honest. He looks quite reliable, and but I think it would be unfair to sort of say to Dawson, "Oh well, no, I'm not going to play you now. It's going to be Diop." But I think, as I say, I mean, with that, I think the only trump card that Diop holds over Dawson is perhaps the language barrier. The language communication between him and Zuma, and the fact that his age as well. He's probably more built as well than a bit more built and a bit more burly. I think fair to say than Dawson, Diop. So I mean, I don't know, but I still think Diop. Dawson and Zuma, or Zuma and Dawson on when we play Wolves, 100%.
Yeah. What about you, Matt? What do you reckon?
Yeah, mate, I go with the same. I mean, I think if you look at how Wolves set up, I mean, they set up with a lone striker of Jimenez, don't they? So I mean, I think Jimenez is not the kind of striker that you can give. It's not like when we played Everton and they had Rondon, or you're going up with a Palace where they've got a Benteke that you give them 5 chances or 10 chances, they might only score 1. I mean, Jimenez is another level of class there, to be honest. And I mean, if it wasn't for his head injury, I think he might have gone to Liverpool instead of Diego Jota. But I would prefer Dawson there because I think that I would like Dawson to man mark Jimenez and just give Zuma a little bit of freedom there, with the speed and the positioning and the vision that he's got just to mop up. And, because he can play out of the back as well. I mean, I've been looking at some of his passing, kind of like the short to middle distance passing, very direct, very basic, but very effective. And especially as you've got guys like Moutinho and you've got Ruben Neves that come breaking through the middle as well. So I mean, I definitely think that if Dawson's the higher man, the man marker, and Zuma's just a little bit dropping off, I think that will be a little less worrisome than, like you're saying, having Diop there. But I mean, at the end of the day, mate, I mean, Diop is 24 years old. I mean, if you think about it, he's 24. This is his 4th year here. I mean, most of it, I think it was only last season that he didn't play over 30 games, for the club in all competitions. So it's not like he's not had games, but now it's time to step up. Now that we've moved up a level from the relegation battling team that he was part of for most of that time, and now it's time, like you said, Zuma's making people better, so it's time to jump on the bandwagon. Or I think at the end of the year he could go, but like, I don't know who it was in the comments that put up that he was worth 45 million. I definitely think that's why we don't want to let him go, because at the end of the day, he's one of those players that have got potential, and if we were to flog him now, I don't think you'd get much more than 10, 12, maybe 15 tops. So I mean, I definitely am a firm believer in he's the one for the future. But like you say, Wolves, Dawson, keep it simple and go for the 3 points.
I agree with both of you about Dawson for next one. But I want to see Zuma and Diop being trained for the Manchester City game. That's the one for me where we're going to need pace. We can't have Craig Dawson at the back because we'll be in trouble. We get ruined. I don't want us to go to a 3 at the back. I don't want us to change system. All right. I want us to go a 4-2-3-1 that we've been playing all season. For me personally, the next game after the Wolves one is the one for me where I want to see Diop and Zoom together. Both pacey, both good in the air, both can get. Have got speed if players getting behind. Don't get me wrong, Dawson's done well for us, but we noticed it last year when he plays game after game after game, he starts running out of steam, and we can't have him running out of steam right now. Right? If we can get him, if we can play him a game one week, another game another week, and do rotation each week, we might be able to get away with it before January comes, and then go and get another centre half on loan or something, just as a cover. But it's important, it really is. Mike, any final thoughts before we head off, mate?
I mean, it just got me thinking now. I mean, what if, obviously, now we've had the unfortunate news with Ogbonna getting injured, and it's like a long-term injury. Obviously, I don't want to jinx it, or I don't want to tempt fate or anything like that. But what if we lose Zuma as well?
Yeah.
Then we're in
All
trouble.
I'm thinking is like, if we lose Zuma, then we're gonna have to play. Sorry, I think there's a bit of delay in the video, so I apologise.
No, that's all right, mate. No, I think if we lose Zuma, mate, we're in trouble. Like if we lose Rice, if we lose Rice, if we lose Cresswell, I feel on this one that whoever we're going to lose players, it's going to happen. So do you know what I mean? We just got to maintain it, get to January, and basically go from there. But do you know what? I'll tell you what system who I did like, and people might go, "Oh, you can't do that." Is I did like Zuma and Rice back there. I thought them two together look really solid.
Yeah.
And obviously, I know you take away Rice's threat from going forward, but that's why we've signed Alex Crowell. And do you know what I mean? Imagine having Crowell and Souček in front of Rice and Zuma. No one's getting past that defence. I don't care who they are. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's it really about that. Well, I'm going to let you boys go. Mike, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for coming on, mate. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch up again with you soon, mate.
Yeah, you too, James. Yeah, cheers.
Take care, mate. No
Yeah,
worries.
too,
Anytime, mate. All the best. And that has been it from me. Obviously, in regards of Ogbonna, I think personally, Ogbonna is going to be a miss, but I think we're going to be able to get round this one. I really do. Do you know what I mean? We lost him last season, and it affected us towards the end of the season. We lost him at Manchester United, and basically, we managed to get away with it. But this time, right, if we can get to January, right, we've got a couple of nice games coming up. I know we've got Watford over the Christmas period, Norwich, but Issa Diop's got to step up for me personally. There's no excuses now, right? He has to step up. He can't make any errors. I want him. When they get back from international, I can see it being Zuma and Dawson. But after that, it has to be on the training ground, Issa Diop and Zuma, because we need pace at the back. Dawson's good. Don't get me wrong. He's solid. He's got no pace. And against teams like Man City, Chelsea, we're going to need pace. Let's quickly bring Matt in quickly for his final thought, and then I'm going to wrap it up.
Hello, mate.
And Matt,
sorry about
final
that, mate. Just
thought, mate?
Technical problems. Just a quick thought, mate. I agree with you 100%. Just a last thought. Well, when it comes to cup games and maybe in the Europa, like you said, maybe to give Dawson that break. And I mean, we know that Dawson is maybe more useful up against, like you said, when we get to play a team like Watford, when we get a Burnley, when we get a Southampton, those teams are a little bit more battling than we're used to, We've also got the choice of Baptiste. I don't know if you saw yesterday, but Baptiste got voted PL2 player of the month, Jerome Baptiste. And we've also got that Ahi Elise. I mean, not saying that they would be brilliant to make this complete step up, but maybe just to give a bit of a break in cup games. Or another option, like I like the option you said about Rice at the back. I mean, that's absolutely massive. That's an impenetrable centre-back partnership. But also, I know Alex Crowell used to play centre-back as well. So, I mean, maybe there's an option there. I mean, we'll have to see what Moyes says about that because... I
think with Crowell, the only difference with Crowell is I'd rather him with Souček because they played together for the Czech Republic.
Yeah, you're right, mate.
In both them positions.
I agree with you, yeah.
I think if Rice... I think Diop can do a job. I don't know why. I just feel that Diop can do a good job with Zuma. Yeah. I think you can both relate to him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
I agree, mate.
But I'm just looking at something on here. Well, I'm looking on there. Someone's just saying on a different channel, and my name's just come up. And people are saying that he's having a laugh about us losing Ogbonna. I don't believe it's a problem, mate, myself.
No.
If we lose Zuma, then that's a problem.
It's not ideal, but it's not. I mean, if you were to put it in list of, if you were to sit down, pen in hand, and make a list of priority of who you would fucking hate to lose, in first place, second place, third place, I don't think Ogbonna would make the top 5 or 6, to be honest. As much as he's important, I don't think he'd make the top 5 and 6. And that's no The thing is, mate, that they're probably taking it as a discredit to him. But like we've talked about, we do. I mean, centre back is one of the few positions where we do have options. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's no discredit to Ogbonna. But, I mean, what is he? He's a 33-year-old centre back that's had some wonderful seasons for us, put in some wonderful performances. But at the end of the day, it's a new crop that's coming through. And he's part of bringing and helping develop that new crop coming through, whether his experience, his quality, his knowledge of the game, his professionalism, which is obviously top notch. So, I mean, he's part of the process.
And let's be honest, Matt. Let's be honest, between me and you, Kirk Zuma's the reason why we're playing well in defence.
Without a doubt, mate. Without a doubt.
Do you know what I mean? And if Kirk Zuma can bring the best out of Angela Ogbonna, I think he can get the best out of Craig Dawson and Issa Diop.
Well, Diop and Zuma, mate, took us to relegation battle year after year, didn't it? To be honest, I mean, not blaming it completely on them because that's completely unfair. But I mean, the cracks in the woodwork were showing a lot during, especially during Bilic's last season, and well, even through Bilic's first season. I mean, that's where you could see their first partnership together, and it was because people forget I think it's Diop's 4th year now at the club.
I mean, I just want to put his comment up there. Roy, if you could go on to Peach's channel for us and say to the Hammers Fans United to WhatsApp me. I'll send him a link and I want him to come on here because I've just read the comment. I'm literally reading the comments. I've got YouTube in front of me. I'm seeing it. He's saying it's a big problem about Ogbonna. So if you could do that for us, Roy, it'd be much appreciated, mate. I just don't see it being a problem because we're playing so well. Like we lost him last season and we were still playing well. And even then we had Diop playing. Now we've got Kirk Zuma there. And I believe, this is me, 100% agree with it, Matt, that Kirk Zuma will get the best out of Issa Diop. At the end of the day, I truly believe that. Ever since we've signed Zuma, I've said that to me is the future, him and Diop together. But the problem is that future has to be now. Yeah, because
Diop's not lived up to that potential that we expected from Toulouse. Because when we got him from Toulouse, he was a monster. He was talked about as being one of the best under 20-year-old centre backs in the world. So I mean, that's why we paid such. What did we pay from 24 million at the time?
24 million from Toulouse. Yeah,
big money for a 19-year-old. Big money. So obviously, there was evidence there of why he was that good, and so now it's just time to bring it out. And like you say, maybe the catalyst of getting him up to that level is and will be Kurt Zuma.
I think I see him play one game together, and that was in Zagreb. And I thought, you know what, I like that. I like the look of the pair of them. They was good. It was both of them. They looked decent together. And I'm not saying that Diop can come in straight away. I'm not saying that. Well, obviously that's going to have to be worked on the training ground for a little while. Like, obviously Dawson can come in, but Dawson can't play every game.
No,
because he's got a ricket in him now.
Yeah.
So let's be honest, Matt. Who would you rather have? Like, you got a 24-year-old French-speaking lad who's lost a bit of confidence with a French international next to him. He's going to learn, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? Or you have Craig Dawson next to him, where, let's be honest, Craig Dawson. No one will criticise Craig Dawson because of the price tag, because he only costs 2.2 million. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player. I rate him. He's done very, very well. But for me, if we're going into the future now, we need to look at Diop and Zuma. That's the way I look at it.
Definitely, mate. And at the end of the day, this season now, will make, because I'm not an expert on knees or anything, but if it's the same knee that he's done in already and already had surgery on, I don't think that he will come back anytime soon, and especially if it is an ACL tear or a bad one. I mean, that is looking closer to that 9 months rather than 3 months, you know. So I mean, at the end of the day, this is sink or swim for Diop. And today, from this point onwards, we'll know whether he is going to be that £45 million player that we're thinking he could be, or he is going to be that bargain bucket £4.5 million player that we'll end up getting him off the wage bill for. So it's like they say, to not overuse expressions, the ball's in his court. It's his position to win over now, with one less opponent to take down to get into that first team position. So I think, like you say, we're all hoping that it's going to be him, because for the future of West Ham, and not just looking at the short term, looking at the medium term, not even the long term, just the medium term, that needs to be Diop. It needs to be him, because otherwise we'll have to shell out a lot of money, because I don't think we'll find another bargain too easily like we will do with Dawson, or a bargain with Zuma, because to be honest, we paid 20-something for probably a guy that if they're looking at, like I said the other day, Romero at Tottenham being valued around 47. I mean, we got an absolute bargain for Zuma, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's the way I look at it. And it proves it in the performances, mate. If I'm being truthfully honest, because since Zuma's come in, we've looked completely solid at the back. Right,
another team.
Take the Liverpool game out of the equation, because Liverpool are a world-class outfit. But against Everton away, we were solid. Against Tottenham at home, we were solid. Even in other games previous to that, the only one bad game that really Zuma's had, which I wouldn't say was bad, was Brentford, but that was because of Angelo Ogbonna. Yeah, and that was because Ogbonna kept leaving him massively exposed with pace. But
I was about to say, there's only one game that I would have picked him out for this season, and to be honest, that's not a bad ratio considering we're in the Premier League, and we're not in any Mickey Mouse league.
Yeah, even against Villa, he was very, very good. He had Watkins. He had to deal with Watkins. He dealt with him. I think people need to just. It's all about basically rotating Dawson and Diop now.
Yeah,
people have got to understand that. Do you know what I mean?
We said, with those more shithouse games against the rough and tumble teams, maybe that's where Dawson will be more beneficial.
Ethan puts a great comment here, yeah. And I don't listen. One thing with me, I don't talk bollocks. Right, I try and draw as much facts as I can. He says here, the fact that Zuma is already a hero shows his quality, which it says it all. All right, this geezer's an absolute legend.
I mean, what is he? 20? He's 27? I think he is 20.
Yeah, he's about that. Roy, I've seen it, mate. I've literally got YouTube on in front of me, right? I've got the TV on, and I can see all the comments coming flying in. So, Hammers fans United. I'm not having a laugh. I'm being realistic, mate. We lost Ogbonna last year, and we coped. We've lost him again. We cope. You know what I mean? We're a good side, and just be honest, we didn't have Zuma last year either. We had Ogbonna, Diop, Dawson, and there was the other one. We had someone else in the ranks who was probably crap. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not worried about losing Ogbonna. It's a blow. Yeah, it is a blow, but it was gonna happen. But let's be honest.
In list of worries, sorry to interrupt, mate, but in list of worries, you could put the top four, the front four ahead of him. You could put Rice obviously ahead of him. You could put Cresswell ahead of him. You could even put Zuma ahead of him. You could even put Souček ahead of him. In list of priorities, if you said who would you like to get it, well, not would you like, but who would you least worry about getting injured? Fabianski, because Areola can come in. Soufal, well, we know that Johnson can come in. I mean, Souček, we haven't seen Kraus, we don't know there. Rice, obviously, forget about it. The front three behind Antonio, well, we don't want them to get injured because they're working well together. Antonio's working well up front, and we don't have another striker.
I'll just look at it like this, Matt, and I'll sort of come to the end of this video with you.
Yeah.
If we lost Declan Rice for that amount of time, then I'd be devastated.
Season over, mate. Season over.
Yeah. I'll be absolutely devastated. I'll be in bits. I'll be like, if we lost Antonio, it would be hard, but I think we've still got players who can score goals, like Bowen, Fornells, Benny. If Vlasic comes in, he's going to have to improve, etc. But if we lost Rice or Zuma or Cresswell, then it starts becoming, do you know what I mean? It becomes a joke. It becomes hard work then, right? But it is what it is. Listen, right? I see we us lose Ogbonna last year in Manchester and in the FA Cup, and we coped, and we will cope again. Do you know what I mean? Zuma's the main man. If Zuma and Diop can form a partnership together, then we're rolling, and it'd be that'd be a decent partnership. Final word for you, Matt, before we wrap it up, mate. Give us anything you want to discuss quickly before we go.
Well, I've got to go fly, mate. I've got to pick up my daughter. But just want to say, fuck the international breaks because they piss us off, especially when we're on good form. But always to get on with you, mate. Always, like I say, like your very objective analysis of the situations. Always top notch. And thanks for letting me get on. And take care of yourself, mate.
No worries, mate. Stay safe. Have a safe journey, Matt. I'll let you go.
Catch you later, mate.
Take care. So, yeah, that was Matt. He used to go on West Ham Fan TV doing the fan cams and all the way from Mexico. Listen, my final thought is this, I've got no worries about this, right? Because we are rolling and we are flying. Listen, one player does not derail our season. Declan Rice derails our season. Let's have it right here. And if we lose Declan Rice, then we can all go like that, right? Angelo Ogbonna does not derail our season. We've got Craig Dawson, who could do a job. We've also got Issa Diop. Issa Diop is not a mug, right? He's a good young lad. He deserves a chance, and get him with Zuma, and we will be fine, right? I'm not saying straight away. I'm saying it will come in time, but they need to be on the training pitch for them two to play. Because let's be honest, Issa Diop is the better player than Craig Dawson. Craig Dawson's good, but Issa Diop is a 24-year-old young French player. And what sort of player to work with Kirk Zuma? So, yeah, I've got every faith that we're going to be all right. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to panic and start going berserk. Because I do believe in this team. And I believe this team will do something this year, right? It's a blow. We're going to miss Ogbonna. But we missed him last year and we ended up finishing sixth in the league. And let's be honest, we was 2 points off finishing in the Champions League, right? It's good that we're only 6 weeks away from the end of the year, like 6-7 weeks away from the end of the year. So, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Trust me. You know what I mean? I don't steer you wrong. I told you about Ben Rama will come good. I was right. I told you that I'm believing in this team, and I'm right about that and all. So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, if you're new around here and you like my content, please do subscribe. It goes a long way. It helps me out greatly. It really does. Smash a like on the video. Bit of poor quality tonight on the videos from Mike. He was a bit he was delaying a little bit, but it is what it is. He's got an opinion. If it takes a few more seconds to hear it, I'm happy to wait. So, yeah. Obviously, I'll be back soon. I've got a couple of good ideas coming up, mate. Honestly, if you like your horse racing, I'm starting to look at Cheltenham for 2022. And I'm going to start putting out some nice tips each week for Cheltenham. So if you like your Cheltenham betting or your horse racing betting, I'm going to start doing things on that. Got a couple of other ideas, but that's more in the pipeline that I will do. But yeah, things are looking good. My subscriber list is going up. I really do appreciate everyone who subscribed recently. It really goes a long way. It shows that what I'm doing is good content and people are prepared to subscribe to my channel because they like what they hear from me on a regular basis. So, yeah, it's all good. It's all love. Anyway, much love to everyone. Take care of yourself. Keep the faith. Obonna's a loss, but it's not the end of the world. We move. We roll on to Wolves next, and whoever's in the centre half pairing it doesn't matter because we will score 3 or 4 against them because we are massive and we are flying like a kite in a minute. Take care, everyone. All the best, and bye for now.